Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So, earlier today Konami announced the first event for Master Duel, and that's the Xyz Festival, right? It's up in the announcements, and what are the best decks you can run? Well, a couple of things. First of all, two things actually, is before you start building decks and, buying stuff or crafting stuff, there's two things to keep in mind. Both of them here on the screen is, first of all, is that it was data mined not too long ago that Konami might release a special pack, a selection pack, right before the event, or maybe when the event starts. That's exactly 1 week from now, so February 17, if I'm not mistaken. And again, Konami might release a special pack, a selection pack with like Xyz-based decks, hard to get Xyz, which might be cheaper to get in this particular pack. So that's one. Two, and that's my biggest concern for now, is, and that basically counts for every, leaked event from a couple of weeks ago, the Synchro Cup, Xyz Cup, etc., is that you can run, at least with the information we have now, is that you can run basically, let's say, a stun deck, Eldritch Stun, Domain Monarchs, True Draco, decks that don't really rely that much on their extra deck. You can slap in like 15 Xyz monsters, but basically don't use them. And that's something that, as mentioned here, I believe it was on the Japanese, information, that it was leaked that Konami might implement a ban list, restrictions, limitations. So those two things, keep them in mind. If you want to build a particular deck, wait it out. Wait it out until Konami releases more information, or actually when the event starts, right? So that's next week, 1 week from now, right? So February 17th. So 5 decks that for now, with the current information, you might want to look out for, or you can definitely expect to be super popular in that particular format. So the first one, I think here, is no surprise, and that's Zoodiac. Again, it's one of those decks that, for now, getting yourself up to Platinum and Platinum 1, it's definitely one of the best contenders. So I feel that this is probably going to be the most popular deck. Like this particular list, again, feels pretty standard, right? Lightning Storm, Droplet, Imperm, Callby, huge amount of hand traps, but the fact that Zoodiac are so versatile and they Xyz with their greatest of ease, those one-card Xyz, makes this deck probably the deck to beat, right? And again, that's something I haven't mentioned yet. Check out the video description for the exact lists. Again, I have like 5 links over there. If you can click on them, you get all the deck lists, all the cards separate. So again, if you don't know any particular cards, take a look in the video description. So I believe deck number 1 is probably going to be Zoodiac Beast. And again, I feel that this might be the deck to craft for if you don't have it yet, because how it states now with the current Master Duel ban list, it's a deck that it's good in the Xyz Festival, in the Xyz Cup, but it's also good to get yourself up to Platinum 1 in the regular Master Duel format. So, I mean, it's not something that you have to buy explicitly, for this particular event. The second deck list and the second deck is something I feel that's definitely good as well to get yourself up to Platinum and even Platinum 1, and that's Numeron OTK. It speaks for itself that Numeron is also a deck that, just like Zoodiac Beast, can definitely run Link monsters, but like for example, basically Appaloosa and maybe the, what is it called, the Link 3, it's the ship that kind of takes control of your opponent's monsters as well. I forgot its name. But for now it's not too important, so you can just slap in all Numeron Xyz monsters and probably Zeus as well, because let's face it, that's probably one of the best Xyz monsters we are currently, at least we currently have in a TCG or OCG or in the game as well. So Numeron OTK, again a deck you can use in regular Platinum duels. It's very easy to play, so if you're not too familiar with all the cards, the card pool, and all of Yu-Gi-Oh, I could definitely recommend running this one. You're running Lava Golem, Kaijus to get rid of your opponent's big boss monsters. You're running multiple Spell and Trap Destruction cards, Lightning Storm, Raigeki, Harpy's Feather Duster, a huge amount of hand traps if, you definitely want to go second to OTK your opponent and, you know, getting yourself as fast as possible to your Numeron field spell to special summon those 4 Exceed monsters and, you know, OTK your opponent. That's basically how the deck works. It's super annoying, but consistent as well. Piri-Wise map is not in the main deck, but again, it's something that you might want to craft for, to make the deck much more consistent, because the choke point of the deck is the field spell. If you don't have access to the field spell, you're probably going to lose immediately. So OTK.deck. The third one is the deck that, next to Zoodiac Beast, for me, came to my mind quickly next to Zoodiac, and that's Utopia. Utopia is also a deck that you're probably not running any Link monsters, so it's a full Exceed deck. This is just an example deck list, but again, there are many more options you can main deck. You can put in stuff like, again, Lightning Storm. Harpy's Feather Duster is there. I have droplets in most these builds, but as you know, droplet is an ultra rare, which is again quite expensive, or could be quite expensive if you don't have it just yet. But Forbidden Chalice is just as good. You don't want to get Artifact Sight, you know, Artifact Sight that blocks you from using your extra deck. So something like Chalice definitely helps out. So I can definitely recommend running that, either droplet or Chalice. But I think it speaks for itself, getting out those multiple Exceed summons. I actually played against Utopia a couple of days ago, and I went second, no hand traps, and the guy had like, when I started my turn, had like 6 Exceed monsters, the Utopia boss monster, Titanic Galaxy, Utopic Future from Monster Effect, so to negate it, it's actually a really scary deck, but it's very weak to Disruption, but very weak to Nibiru. And Nibiru is just a one-off here, because you could search it out off of Granite, the extra deck monster, if your opponent next sees you, for example. So Utopia, it's definitely there, you know, for Exceed decks. The fourth one I feel is a bit of a surprise maybe, because the deck has one big weakness, I guess, here on Master Duel, and that's because of Totally Awesome. So Paleofrogs. There's a couple of ways to run the deck. This is a 40 card build, which again, a huge amount of traps. Totally Awesome is probably the go-to boss monster of this particular deck, but again, there's just support Exceed monsters to gain multiple rank 2 Exceeds on your side of the field, like Opabinia, the Paleo, you know, rank 2 Exceed for Paleozoics, right? So again, the deck list is very flexible. You can add in Solemn Strikes, for example. A popular choice here for this particular deck is Backjack. It's a theme type that, you know, excavates and reveals a trap. You can like surprise your opponent during their turn. I'm a huge fan, and then those cards are not in here, but if you know, want to run this particular deck, I'm a huge fan to run the Mirror Forces. Not the regular Mirror Force, but either the Storming Mirror Force, the one that bounces back all monsters from your opponent back to their hand, or Drowning Mirror Force, that sends all cards, or, you know, all monsters in attack position, I guess, from your opponent back to the deck. So again, that's something that your opponent is not expecting, and those might be game-winning cards or answers, right? So it's cool. Solemn Judgment, again, might be a 3-off, so budget-wise, it depends really on the cards you have access to, and Card of the Mice as well. Other options is to run like a 60-card build with Grass Looks Greener, which again is legal here in Master Duel format. The last one, and that's probably my favorite, because as you see, I pretty much already have most cards crafted for this particular deck, and that's Dinosaurs. Dinosaurs is a deck that kinda needs the Link monsters because of, you know, for example, your double evolution, because, you know, you need to banish a non-dinosaur monster as well, but that's why I kind of prefer running the True Draco package as well. Some hand traps, again, non-dinosaur monsters, but the extra deck again speaks for itself with those multiple Exceed monsters. Some of them are quite expensive, but let's face it, the most important ones are here Lagia, Dolka, Zeus to some extent, and Tornado Dragon and Dweller. Those are pretty much also the staples for basically any deck that you're running nowadays, if you have the capability to put up, you know, rank 4 Exceed monsters. So other options, maybe Scraps, but again, Scraps kinda need the Link monsters, you know, a monster for its full potential, the Scrap Link too, so I'm not really recommending that one, but this is super flexible, and let's say because something like Flying Sea is huge against your opponent. It again prevents them from using their extra deck or exceed monsters. Then there's still Conductor to, you know, wreck through your opponent's board, and, you know, Miscellaneous Swords is still so powerful to set up your, you know, invincible board here if you go first. But Dinosaurs is definitely a deck that you know, can go second. Lightning Storm evenly matched, all of those cards can definitely be put in if you want to go second. So for now that's it. I'm probably going to make another video budget wise, you know, budget decks, because let's face it, there are decks that, well, like Utopia for example, that's something I definitely want to run, but I don't have the materials, as you see, to craft all of those new cards. So I'm probably going to work towards like a budget video, you know, top budget decks for this as well. But for me that's it. Again, hold your horses, wait until the event starts, or maybe one day before the event if Konami, you know, announces more information about a potential ban list, a potential selection pack, etc. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Lead him signing out. Peace.